Have you ever stopped to think about the incredible defense network that's protecting you right this second? It's a complex system for sure. So today, we're going to break it all down using a really simple but powerful analogy. What if your body was a country, a nation with borders, local police, and even an elite army? So let's run with that idea. Picture your body as this vast, sprawling nation. It's full of life, it has critical borders it needs to protect, and it has this incredibly sophisticated security system that's on alert 24/7, ready to defend against any and all threats. Now, any nation worth its salt needs a frontline security detail, right? Something that's always on, always watching. Well, in our bodies, that's what we call innate immunity. It is our first and most immediate line of defense. So let's look at those defenses. The most obvious one is your skin. Think of it like a massive border fence. It's really effective. But if anything tries to get in through another way, say your nose or eyes, we have mucus, tears, and saliva. These are like CCTV cameras and water cannons that trap and flush out invaders. And if you swallow something nasty, well, your stomach acid is basically a chemical kill zone that neutralizes most threats on contact. Okay, but what if a few intruders manage to sneak past all those external barriers? That's when the local police get the call. In our bodies, these are cells like neutrophils and macrophages. Their job is super simple: see something suspicious and destroy it. They just engulf it, a process you might know as phagocytosis. No questions asked, no specific ID needed. And this is the crucial thing to understand about this first response. It is incredibly fast, but it's completely nonspecific. It attacks any general threat it finds, but it doesn't learn anything from the fight. So if that same enemy comes back tomorrow, the police force treats it like a brand new threat all over again. It has absolutely no memory. Which, of course, leads to a pretty critical question. I mean, your local police force can handle minor stuff, but what happens when there's a major coordinated attack? What happens when the enemy is just too strong for the first responders to handle? Well, when the local police realize they're overwhelmed, they do what any good police force does. They call for backup. And this is where our nation's highly specialized elite force comes into play. This is the acquired immune system. The first specialists to arrive on the scene are the T cells. You can think of them as the nation's intelligence agencies. You've got different units, like helper T cells, which act as the generals coordinating the whole attack. Then you have cytotoxic, or killer T cells, which are the assassins that go out and eliminate compromised cells directly. The point is, they don't just rush in, they carefully analyze the enemy to figure out exactly what they're up against. So once the intelligence agencies have a clear picture of the enemy, the order goes out to the special commandos, or B cells. These are elite units that then mature into plasma cells, and they start manufacturing custom-built weapons called antibodies. And the key word here is custom. Each antibody is like a smart missile, designed to lock onto one and only one specific type of enemy. You can see this whole process is super methodical, it's strategic, and it is incredibly effective. But it takes time. Identifying the enemy, planning the right strategy, and then manufacturing millions of these specific weapons, that doesn't happen in an instant. This delay is exactly why you might feel sick for a few days when you get an infection. It's the time it takes for your special forces to gear up for battle. But after the battle is won and the threat has been totally neutralized, the most remarkable feature of this whole system finally kicks in. And it's something the local police could never, ever do. It remembers. The acquired immune system creates what is essentially a permanent terror watch list. It does this by creating memory cells. These cells store a complete file on the enemy, all its unique identifiers, its weapons, its tactics. So if that same invader ever dares to show its face again, the nation is ready. There's no delay this time. And what's so amazing is that we can actually use this memory function to our advantage. And that is exactly what a vaccination is. It's like we're running a mock drill for our army. We introduce a fake or a severely weakened version of the enemy, which allows our intelligence and special forces to study it, develop the right weapons, and create that all-important memory file, all without the danger of a real invasion. So, what happens when our nation needs immediate help for a specific threat but hasn't had the time to train its own forces? This unique situation brings us to another type of immunity. This is what we call passive immunity. It's like borrowing soldiers from an allied nation. You get instant protection from their pre-made antibodies. The classic example of this is a newborn baby receiving antibodies from its mother through breast milk. It's fantastic for an emergency, but here's the catch. Because your own army didn't do the fighting, it didn't do the learning, so no memory is created. As soon as those borrowed soldiers leave, the protection is gone. All right, let's bring this all together. At the end of the day, our nation's defense relies on two very distinct but totally complementary forces, working together to keep the country safe. This really breaks it down nicely. Your innate immunity, the police force, is immediate, but it's general and has zero memory. On the other hand, your acquired immunity, the army, is a bit slower the first time it sees an enemy, but it's highly specific, and thanks to its incredible memory, its response is lightning fast and way more powerful every single time after. And really, that's the key takeaway. Our body has the perfect two-part security plan. You've got a police force for the immediate, everyday threats, and then you've got this highly intelligent army that learns from every single battle, making sure that an old enemy can never threaten the nation in the same way again.